Hey, it's Trim4564, and I just wanted to show you guys this new cool leveling dungeon I found. It's located just west of Korbach in Skogsland, and it's called the Domahine Tunnels. And it's a pretty interesting and unusual dungeon. It's unusual because you don't start at the beginning of the dungeon, you start halfway through the dungeon next to a gate that is blocked off. And in order to get to the second half of the dungeon, you need to free 6 prisoners. As you can see, the pathway is blocked. And I'm just going to run through here real quick and free these prisoners. But the mob density in the second half of this map is incredible. There are always two big, massive rooms full of maybe 5 champion packs. Kind of similar to what the mob density was in interrogation rooms, which was a very common area that people were farming um, during the first week of the game release. It was so common and so popular that Blizzard had to actually nerf the dungeon and change the mob density because it was just everybody was farming it. They were doing it in like 2 minutes and just gaining so much experience. As you can see, I just got to the end of the beginning of the dungeon, so I left and I'm gonna go back in and it's gonna reset me to the middle. Sometimes it puts you back at the entrance, but like 90% of the time it'll send you back at that gate. And so that's what it did for me. It sent me back to the gate, which is great because I could just go and touch this prisoner and just free him and then go back. But the layout of this map is fairly linear. The second half is very linear. This first half is, you know, hit or miss if you get like a pretty decent layout of where the prisoners are, but they're usually right next to each other, so it's pretty good. Um, so this room right here, you can get a random event. You can get the pillars, you can get the levers, you can get this one where it's just one big summoner guy, or you can get like a stack of 5 champions in here. So this dungeon always has 2 to 3 big juicy rooms full of champions, and it's always got that middle room that usually has a pretty good event in it. And here's the first pack of champions I'm going to run into. This is on World Tier 3. So it's not huge. It's not like the biggest thing, but look at that. For World Tier 3, that's pretty good. That's like 1, 2, 3 champions. And you're going to see the second pack too. And then don't worry, I'm going to show you footage of what it's like on World Tier 4. It's a lot bigger. And the loot explosion is way bigger. Um, but yeah, this is a great dungeon for farming and levels for experience because I was doing this on World Tier 4 and I was getting like 600,000 experience per run. Each run was taking me about, look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elite stacks right there. I was getting about 600,000 experience per run, and each run was taking me 6 to 7 minutes. So that's pretty good experience. I leveled a lot yesterday after finding out about this. And once you're done, you just leave the dungeon. If you're playing solo, you just leave the dungeon, you leave the game, you rejoin back into the game, and you're right at the entrance of the dungeon again. And then you just keep doing that over and over and over again. And it's a great way to farm. I'm about to show you what it's like when you come across one of these big juicy packs on World Tier 4. Also, I want to show you that it is possible for you to enter this dungeon and spawn at the beginning, which is what I just did. I'm right at the beginning and just fine. You just work your way back up to the middle part. Easy. So here's the big juicy World Tier 4 mob pack. There's like 7 of them in there. It is huge. It's so big the loot explosion leaves behind 2 glyphs. This is exactly what it was like in interrogation room before they pre-nerf. This is what it was like. Everybody was farming this. It was huge. My last video was about interrogation room and how everybody was farming it. Actually, 10 minutes after I posted that video, it got nerfed right away. It was so good. Here's the second pack. I didn't look for the third pack, but I'm sure I could have found it pretty easily. Look how big that room is. Look how many guys are just sitting in there. That's what this dungeon is. Just so much mob density. So I just wanted to show you guys this new little dungeon here. I'm not sure if anybody's really discovered it. I think it's really great. I know you see streamers like farming in parties, doing that like Kane's Blessing or something like that. That's pretty good. But guess what? I don't have a party. I'm alone. So if I can find a pretty linear dungeon with huge juicy packs in them, that's easy to do, that's what I'm gonna do. And so just a little advice for anybody out there who's leveling solo and struggling to get to level 100. Domahine Tunnels, just right to the left of Korbosh in Skogsland. Great place to farm. I hope you guys liked this video, and I hope you found it informative. Thanks. If you want to watch me, I sometimes stream at Trime4564 on Twitch TV. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Bye.